What's up guys, and welcome back to WBC Builds, and welcome to November 2020's edition of the server update tour. So we've got a lot to show you this month. I've obviously been building quite a few Halloween stuff that you've seen over on the channel already, but I'm going to show you guys where it is on the server. But before we do that, I've got a new builder to show you. So Duncan, welcome to the team. Now it's time to show off your Dutch influenced town, so let's go. Okay, so this time around, the first builder I want to show off is our new builder. His name is Duncan. He's come all the way over from the Netherlands, and he actually has brought with him some very nice Dutch architecture. So this is the town of Hoogedam. I butchered that name. I tried to say it. We had a little discussion about it earlier on. I could not say it to save my life. But anyway, it is meant to be based upon the central station in Amsterdam, and I actually love Dutch architecture. These gables look amazing, and the actual beading down the side of the wall is perfect. Simple rustications around the base with the nice smooth sandstone stairs, but then you've got these really nice detailed windows that just have the beading and the panelling up through it. And not just that, we've got this lovely crest at the top here. Now this is something I've never seen done before, but he's used grass, but grass is turned back on itself somehow. Very interesting little thing. He knows a lot of stuff with World Edit that I do not know myself. So moving on, we got these lovely little clocks over here. Again, the clock faces are really nice, and I think this is probably the first time I've ever seen this version of the glazed terracotta being used for something. Really ingenious way of doing that. So the insides isn't done completely, but we can go in and have a little look about. So here we've got a lovely chandelier, and obviously with 1.17 on the way there, this can be replaced with candles. Maybe, I don't know. Also, wood and candles, I don't know if that would mix too well. But yeah, you can see in here, this sandstone and brick motif carries on. I like the way you've used the black stone around the base as well. I think that's a really smart little move. So if you go on down into here, you've got the main concourse, which is obviously where people go up onto the platforms. I like the way you've used, what is this? These are beds, aren't they? That's incredible. I know, again, that's with World Edit you've done that. So hats off to you with that. The low ceiling is perfect. Bang your head on that light right there. But let's go up to the platforms. I don't think there's too much up here yet. No, correct. But still, this is looking fabulous. So keep an eye on Duncan. He is going to be bringing some amazing buildings to the server. So welcome to the team. We're happy to have you here. And it's nice to have another Dutch city on the go again. Now, obviously, November marks the end of October, and that means it's the end of the spooky month. Now, I have been building quite a lot of Halloween-related stuff this month. I don't know if you guys have noticed. You might have noticed. So it's time for us to go and have a look at those on the server. So we're going to start off with the little warp of Beaulieu. So here I am in what I've called Beaulieu, but in actual fact it is Bly Manor. Now this was built as my first sort of Halloween build of the year, and I built it obviously after the Haunting of Bly Manor came out. So if you guys haven't seen that video on me building this and the lovely little sort of showcase around it, then please go check those out now or after you finish watching this server tour. But this was great fun to do, and as I explained in that video, I took the real life building and mixed and matched it with the one from the film, or from the series. So this is the real life back to it, but the front is obviously as it was in the series. And I really enjoyed doing all the terraforming, all the landscaping for it, doing some nice little formal gardens, giving it a proper spooky feel, but also adding some key features such as the lake over here, which I actually put like a little chest down in the bottom, which again is full of penguins. Okay, so anyway, let's move out of that quickly. But no, not just that, I did a little chapel as well, just to help bring that extra little bit of fear into it, but also it's all set in the same world anyway. So I don't know if you guys have already seen as well, but I've started doing a series called From Bricks to Blocks, where I take real life buildings and show you guys how you would bring them into the game. Now my first one is actually over here. This is the little flint cottage I built, and I gotta say I really enjoyed how it turned out. So I was just using coral, dead coral as the main sort of flint body for it, along with just some little brick texturings and details. And I thought this turned out really well, so much so I brought it into the world and put it next door to Bly Manor, so it's sort of like a little gatehouse type thing. So that's the first one of my Halloween builds. I think it's time to jump on over to the other one now, and that's right, it's Missouri House from the Haunted House ones. Let's go take a look at it. So I've spent most of my week over here already, but I thought I might as well show you guys this in a bit more detail as well. So obviously, if you haven't already seen it, again, go watch after this video my time-lapse and showcase on this build. Me and Jamie went around the insides and showed off all this house had to offer, but it's quite nice to come here in the sort of late afternoon sun to get a proper idea of how this place looks in the daytime. Now, a lot of people have been interested by these trees. Let's get up a little bit close and personal with this one right here. So it is actually just a mixture of random blocks. As soon as you get up too close to it, it loses all its sort of presence about it. But I thought it was quite a nice way of doing the autumnal trees. I was sort of brought up on the fact that it could have been a little bit too messy, but honestly, I think they look really nice and it goes well with the rest of the landscape. So you may notice again, yeah, it's a different biome, gone for the Badlands here, and you know what, that brings everything down to this really nice autumnal crisp colour. But the house itself is sitting here, just overlooking and being really ominous. I was actually contacted just before I started filming this video by the Missouri Travel Board, or a company that does some travelling and stuff around Missouri, and it was really interesting to see there. They really enjoyed how this house turned out, because that's correct. It is based on a building known as the Bly Manor over in Missouri, so I thought, you know what, that's really nice of them to do that. But obviously, with the Halloween theme keeping in place, I built a little graveyard over here as well for the family. And obviously, it's all been exhumed, as you can see. Yeah, so if you guys want to find out what happened here, go check out the showcase video where me and Jamie wander around. But it might as well peek our little heads inside, and let me show you what is going on in here. So we go on in, and we got the main staircase, which is just quite foreboding as it is. And then you've got some rooms full of all sorts of mystery and mishap. Over here is the organ, because why not put an organ into a small little saloon? Sorry, I thought I heard some footsteps then. This place actually gives me the creeps, like honestly. After building it and then sort of spending most of my week in here, I haven't wanted to come back because of the noises that appear in here. So anyway, we got some more stuff to go see. So I think now it's time to go see what's been happening in Highbury. So Lancelot has added a new couple of buildings over there. So let's go. So here we are again in Highbury. I think we've been here every server tour for the last 3 or 4 months, and that is great. So Lancelot's been working really hard on bringing this place to life. Now he's carrying on his theme of the red brick and the sandstone, but not just that, we've gone for some really nice Georgian houses here. So this is all still under the theme of the military academy, and these are the officers' houses. So I think these are really well done. I'm definitely going to nick some ideas from these because I love this style, as you guys well know. Obviously for me, I would have gone for a blackstone roof, but that doesn't fit around here. But anyway, so for the competition that the server was running over on our Discord this week, this month, the competition was spiritualism. So most people built churches and that. Now, Sir Lancelot's church is somewhere around here. Oh wow, another sort of barrack building. Oh wait, no, is this the stables? Yes, this is some stables. Ah, mate, this is excellent. I thought I was going to get caught off guard by this, but this is really cool. But yeah, so the churches was the theme, so I'm going to go find his church in 2 seconds while we're just looking around these stables. I mean, that I flew past it before and I was like, is that stables? But yeah, that's really well done. Right, let me go find his church. So I found the church now. I'm going to wander on up to it, past the vicarage, and again, really nice vicarage. He's done a good job on that. We'll have a proper look at that in 2 seconds. But here it is. So this is based on one in Yorkshire, I believe. So he's gone for quite a nice English style here, and the use of birch and birch logs as the bricks and the main building blocks for it is really good. I like the way it fits so happily into the landscape around here as well. The size is good, the scale is nice, and the actual feel of the building is perfect. So you've gone for a nice heavily populated graveyard. These always look good, and especially in our texture pack with the black railings around here. Now this is a little plug. I have actually released the texture pack to everyone. It is now available to everyone who joins our Discord. So please head on over to the Discord if you wish to use our texture pack. I really encourage it. It is a great texture pack to use, and it gives you that sort of subtle hints that you need when building in a sort of Victorian or Georgian style. So anyway, that's a little plug out of the way. Let's take a look around the back. I think he's got some interior in here as well. Now I may have to do the old breaking and then... Oh, hang on. There's a grey sheep there. Right, I'm going to have to break my way in because I'm lazy. But yes, no, he's done the interior. Lovely stuff. Oh, I like this. The Great Holy Gherkin Bell. By the looks of it, some gherkins around here. I've got a nice pulpit here to come stand up in. Lovely arches. You can see it's at Norman Church. Lovely detail around the arches. But no, this is, again, Sir Lancelot, you do really well, and I'm really happy you're part of the team, so thank you for that. So it's time to jump on over and see what Goose and Carter have been up to, and this is again part of their submission for the competition that we've been running, and I can't pronounce it, but I believe it's Union of something. Anyway, let's go take a look, and you'll be blown away. So, I wasn't lying when I said you're going to get blown away. There's not just one church here. Oh, I say church loosely. There's not just one cathedral here. There is 3 churches along this coastline here. Now, the 2 of them put these together and did some beautiful, beautiful landscaping around it to actually, aid in winning the competition. These guys were the winners. Now, what has drawn my attention when I came over here before is the texturing in the seabed. I have never seen that level of gradient used before. I don't care about the churches right now. Just look at this. Carter, you're amazing. You have outdone yourself and you have impressed me to no end. So anyway, we have this cathedral here, which is based upon one in a French city that I can't pronounce very well, so we're going to skip over the name for it. Oh god, but what you can see here is a beautiful copper roof. Now, obviously this isn't copper because we're not on 1.17 yet, and one day this may be upgraded to copper, but still I think the texturing and the details around here look really, really good. Goose, your rose windows are incredible, and then we've got the transept around the back here with obviously the flying buttresses, and do you know what, I love cathedrals like this, and to be able to pull this off in game and give it this nice circular feel as well is incredible. So not even just that, we've got this other little one over here. This is St. Peter's Basilica or Church or something like that in Canada. Now this was built by Goose mainly, but obviously influenced by Carter due to him being Canadian. Now it's just a beautiful little red brick building with nice detailings in the roof and that, and you can tell it's like a Victorian church because it's got this nice Victorian look about it. Moving on, we've got the final 3rd church over here, which is just a smaller North American style church that I think is originally sitting on a coastline just like this, and it's what influenced them to have a little go at it. So not only did they build this, they also decided to build a little island over this way with a beautiful, beautiful little lighthouse on it. So let's take a quick look at this. As we go in through the shader-filled sunlight, you can see it here on this little island. This really, really nicely detailed little island, but here it is. A beautiful lighthouse, properly done with the little lamp in it as well. Now, those are iron trapdoors around there, and I think they give it a really nice little effect to look like the shield or the mirror. And again, the black stone is a good choice, and I like the red roof on this one. So guys, really, really well done, and I love it, and congratulations again on winning the competition. So we've got a couple of other things to show you from Goose, and that is the castle of Neuschwanstien over in where Ansbury used to be. So let's go take a look at that. Okay, so we're here in the little village of Neuschwanstien, which is just above the foothills of Ansbury over this way, where the train station was built once, many, many moons ago. So this is the German-influenced little village / large, massive castle, and Goose has been working on this endlessly for months and months and months at a time. And I want to bring you guys through here so you get the real impression of how this could be, a really nice German mountain town. So we've got these half-timbered buildings sitting here. I think they're, well, we like to call them Tudor, but they're not Tudor as such. They're some other word that I cannot pronounce. My English is not great today. But again, the angles and the building choices here are beautiful. And not just that, we've got like a little tunnel to go under this way, or up that little street that way. And I love builds like this. You feel so immersed in it. It's got a nice medieval feel about it, but it still feels real. It feels like it's got a nice bit of realism to it. So we're going to move on up through here and probably fly away across here. And that's right. That is right. Oh, Lord. Oh, my. You are kidding me. It is Neuschwanstein Castle built absolutely perfectly. I am speechless. The texturing on the walls, the details in the walls, everything about it is just gorgeous. And I'm not even mentioning the mountain range that exists around here, that he pretty much built by hand. And still, we need to go inside and just take a proper breathe it all in moment. And yeah, I've never been to the real life castle. I believe Goose has, but for me, it's always one of those places I want to go because it just conjures up memories and ideas of things how they're meant to be. I believe it's the castle used in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, but I'm not 100% sure. That's my only frame of reference to it. But yeah, now you come on up, and what I love about it is how it's so higgledy-piggledy. I believe the builder, Ludwig II of Bavaria, he designed it based on an opera, which is just incredible. Still, there is some interior inside. I might take a quick look at that, but I do want to come back here with Jamie at some point and give it a proper once-over. Still, it is absolutely incredible. I have never attempted anything on this scale, and the way you've even built it with that slight angle it has on the back here just really emphasizes how good of a builder you are, Goose, and I'm very, very happy to have you on the server. Let's take a little peek in here at some of the decor in the throne room. Oh, the opulence, the gold, the magistry. Oh, it reminds me of St. Peter's Basilica when we went to it over in Corbett the other week, but still, I'm not going to break it in. We're not going to go inside. We're going to stand out here like paupers and just gaze upon it. But honestly, I'm going to come back here with Jamie and give this place a proper tour. The little statues around here, everything about it is just gorgeous. So that was the Neuschwanstien castle. I am just blown away by it. So it's time for us to go jump over to Walhampton so I can show you what I've been up to over there. So let's go. So, after what had actually been quite a long break, I finally came back and added a couple more buildings along the high street here in Walhampton. So these two behind me are actually based on two in Lymington. This is New Look, I believe, in Lymington, and this is the Elliott's department store. Both of them, well, that one's a Georgian building, this one's a sort of mid-Victorian one, and again, they fit really nicely here on the high street, and they carry on the theme that I wanted to go for, where we had some big buildings up in the centre of town, and it slowly carried off into obscurity and towards farmland that way. Now, speaking of farmland and obscurities and all things very, very pretty, I have actually been prettifying and beautifying this part of Walhampton. I finally come to my senses and gone, we need a big forest, we need a big open plains. So what I've done here is I've just changed the time around so we get a better view at this in the afternoon. We come to the Royal Park. So this is part of the grander sort of main forest that sits around Walhampton and the rest of Hampwickshire, and it's based on the New Forest, so it's royal hunting ground. This can't be built on, and it all forms part of this huge parkland. So as soon as you leave the station here, you're greeted by this huge forest. And now it carries on down here towards the Walhampton monuments and also the Crescent. Now this is something new that I wanted to do. I didn't know what to do with this area before, but now it's covered in parkland. So we carry on round here. You can see the train bridge finally actually carries on as a whole thing. And I think this works really well because it has a subtlety to it where it blends in with the trees. Now, I wanted to put a bit of lore in here as well. The reason it isn't like on an embankment or anything is because the fact this is royal parkland means animals must move freely through it. Therefore, there is no room to put an embankment here, and so animals have to freely run underneath it. But that was the afterthought because I actually just really liked how it looked when it was on raised platforms like this. So here we are in what is the area in front of the Lymore Park Crescent. I finally just actually turned it into a really nice garden, and it suits what we got going on here with the Walhampton Monument as well. So we carry on up this road here towards the Lymore Park Crescent, and then we're going to turn around and take a look at the trees behind me. Ooh. So what I've done is, the render distance isn't high enough, but this set of trees here and here are there to block out the view from these buildings towards the docks, or what would become the railway yard, and it's the same over here. So this all blocks out horrible views that you don't want to see, but for me it looks beautiful and gives such a nice sort of arrival towards the Crescent up here. Now if we carry on under here as well, you can see I've actually upgraded the station. So the station was looking a bit ropey before, so I've finally gone through and added quite a nice, what I thought is actually quite a nice wall to this side. So we've got a bit more of a raft construction. I've gone for the walls in between some oak logs here that have been stripped, and we've got a nice little railing along the top. I think this looks more train station like than it did before. But this doesn't end here. So I was actually going quite buck wild with this. I decided to build an entire park, as I said, but this park also includes a river. So I extended the Lymore River up from where it was going over here all the way through here. Now I'm not the best at doing landscaping or terraforming or gradient changes in landscaping, but I think this turned out really nicely. If we just switch back over to a sort of a nice morning sunshine, you can see here I've put a couple of islands in here in this bigger lake area, and again I've just used the custom trees about the place to give it a really nice feel, and this has made me quite happy because I've really enjoyed how this has turned out, and it's given me a bit more of a boost to finish off Walhampton rather than just leave it to linger and die a horrible death. And here we are back over by the train station, and this is going to be a line that carries off back up that way, and it connects into the train yard down there. There's a few more other bits and bobs that need to happen around here, but I have plans to finish off this part of Walhampton before we go on to my new project, which will be recreating the city of Bath. So not the whole city obviously, but some of the main buildings and the main areas. I can't wait to do that, so we're going to get onto that probably around Christmas time, but don't hold me on that. I know I've mentioned in the past we're going to be doing things like Porchester and Sutton. They're still going to happen. Sutton I'm going to push back until next summer. I feel like it's a bit better to do a seaside town in the summer. And Porchester can be done at any time. So, speaking of seaside towns, we need to go see our town of Pelleholm, which is over in the Swedish area, built by Hotkey. So let's go take a look at that. So here I am in the Swedish town of Pelleholm. It's not called Pelleholm. Again, I'm pronouncing things terribly. But what have we got here? There has been so much being built around here lately. Hotkey actually took part in our competition as well to build a church. And this is his one over here. I'm going to fly past the main square for now. And look at this monstrosity. Oh, it's beautiful. I don't mean monstrosity in a horrible way, in just the way it's massive. Really like what you've done with the clock face here. That's a really nice way of doing clocks. I'm one for a lover of clock faces, definitely. But again, this would definitely benefit from using copper as the roof here. And the building itself is really, really nice. So what I want to come up here for is to show off how this place looks from above. You can see all of the angles, and the black stone roofs really help bring this place a sort of nice Gothic but also Scandinavian feel. So in the centre of the town square here we have the town hall, which I believe if we just quickly switch over that, we get a really nice look at this, and it's got some beautiful neoclassical features to it, and again would benefit from the new copper blocks. That's all I'm talking about today, just copper, copper, copper. But still, yeah, Hotkey, what you've been doing here is great. This is your new building I think you've been building lately, and again it works out really, really nicely, especially if I just put some light on it. Do you know what? I love doing shaders, and I love doing them so you can see what's actually happening. So I can't wait to see where Pelleholm comes along. This has been a really nice town, and the growth has been amazing from our last tour around here. So guys, I think that is everything for now. Let's go back to the Victorian Mansion and sum up the builds. So guys, you've seen November's tour now. We've had loads to show off, and the server is really growing quite well. I'm really happy with how my Halloween builds turned out, and I love how Goose and Carter's entry into our competition turned out as well. So we'll see you again in December for our next update, but until then, remember, get inspired, get building, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.